Let me get this out of the way from the start. No, I have never watched Pokemon. The only Pokemon game I've ever played is Pokemon Go for iOS, and my knowledge of the series is minuscule. So when 2K55 suggested that I give it a red hot go, I figured, why not? Let's check out the show that took my generation by storm and introduced millions of Westerners into the world of anime. So here is what I have to say after giving Pokemon a red hot go. First of all, I must commend the creators of Pokemon for making early episodes free to watch on their website. That's really going above and beyond for old fans and newcomers like myself. I've heard that Pokemon the anime was based on Pokemon the game for Game Boy, and I can barely imagine the excitement of a child who was so used to the black and white Game Boy pixel art, getting to see what Pokemon looked like in hand-drawn colourful animation. The first shot, which depicts a Game Boy-like Pokemon battle expanding in scope to a full-blown arena, is a brilliant way to draw people into this universe. Starting with visuals your audience should be familiar with, and contextualizing it within the world of the anime. One of the first things that stood out to me was just how clunky the animation could get. However, I am not one of those killjoys who will lambast a show for not having modern visuals. Rather, I see the limited animation as quite charming, and I can't help but believe that most kids this show was created for would easily have let their own imaginations fill in the gaps. Thanks to the YouTube channel Extra Credits, one of the things I did know about the anime going in was that it was written to be as accurate to the game's mechanics as possible. And even as someone who hasn't played Pokemon, I can kind of see how this show would have left me with some pointers for the game. With our protagonist, Ash, setting out on his own at age 10, making friends and collecting what are essentially pets, I can see why this series resonated with so many young fans, as it would have presented them with a character their age attaining the adult-like agency that so many kids long for. Also, it almost goes without saying that the Pokemon are all very cute. Episode 3 has this scene where Pikachu and Caterpie look up at the moon and have an exaggerated conversation in a language that we don't understand, and it was adorable. Pokemon are essentially animals, so it makes sense that seeing them exhibit human-like traits would endear us to them even further. All in all, the first 3 episodes of Pokemon were an absolute blast, which is why it pains me to say that I will not be continuing to watch it. Now, I estimate that throughout this series, 9 out of 10 times when I drop a show, it will be because I did not like it, or it failed to engage me. However, Pokemon is one of those rare 1 in 10 cases where I actually liked it a lot, but I just can't wrap my head around how much more there is to see. At time of writing, there are 1,110 episodes of Pokemon, and that doesn't even include the 23 movies or God knows how many side stories. That is not a commitment I can make at this time, but if I ever attain immortality and need something to mull me over for a few decades, I'll be sure to pick it back up again. And that is it for this Red Hot Go. I'd like to thank my patrons, Orion Tran, Quincy Chamberlain, Jamman5 and Lars Espen. If you would like your name at the end of each video, exclusive updates or a special Discord role, why not become a patron? Or if you're looking for more general updates, outtakes and a community full of friendly anime nerds, why not check out the Discord server? Links for both are in the description. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.